Welcome to this special interview. I'm Darran Wilson, and our guest today is Helen Whaling. Today, we're delving into the world of Makaton and particularly its significance for individuals with communication needs, while also recognizing Makaton International Awareness Day. Helen, an expert in this field, will guide us through the vital role of Makaton in breaking down communication barriers and fostering inclusivity. Hello, Helen, and thanks for talking to us today.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Helen, as we discuss the importance of Makaton for individuals with communication needs, could you also shed light on the Makaton International Awareness Day, which coincides with the 50th anniversary of the Makaton language program?
Of course I can. So the Makaton Awareness Day is done on the 28th of August this year, and that is to coincide with Margaret Walker's birthday, who was the founder of the Makaton language program. And the Awareness Day is really just to get Makaton out there, the awareness of it, where it started, what it is, how we can use it, how easy it can be to get started, and just to make people feel empowered to try and break down them barriers.
Wonderful. It's great to see how this celebration brings attention to both the history of Makaton and its ongoing relevance. Firstly, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your role, and how you came to work in this fascinating field?
Of course. So personally, I'm a mother of two. My oldest boy is 9, and we found when he started talking, he had a lisp. His favourite fruit is strawberries. Obviously, it was a bit of a tongue tie for him. So with the use of Mr. Tumble, we found the sign for strawberries, and it just released that stress and anxiety for him to just tell me what he wanted. And then we could work on the speech later on. Professionally, I work as a teaching assistant in a high school for additional needs. So we have a variety of needs in school, some non-verbal, some are verbal but need Makaton, so we can use the signs and the symbols as well as speech along there as well.
Sure. Okay. And how does Makaton specifically address the communication challenges faced by individuals with varying needs?
So Makaton uses a multimodal approach to communication. It's a language program which we use signs, symbols, as well as speech. So that can suit a variety of needs for all our different users and provides another means of expression. I'm sure yourself, you've had days where you don't really feel like talking.
Course,
and that's okay. You know, we can have different other ways of just expressing ourselves, and it takes that pressure off speech, although we are still working on it. So we can help as younger as babies. I have an 8.5-month-old baby. He's recognizing 3 signs at the moment, just to help him. So far, he's got no communication needs, but why not just give him that extra skill? We can help users with physical impairments, such as cerebral palsy, for instance, as well as users with non-verbal or post-stroke, for instance, as well.
That's great. And a wonderful explanation of how Makaton is truly transformative in improving communication for individuals with diverse needs. Can you share any instances or stories where Makaton has had a profound impact on someone's ability to communicate?
Of course, I've got lots of stories, lots and lots what I can share with you, but I'd keep you here all day. So I've just thought of 3 for a simple example. So on some of my training, I've had a mother who's come and done level 1 with me. She's got a non-verbal child. She's done level 1, and by the time she's come back to do level 2 with me a couple of months later, her son has actually signed mum. He's never shown any interest in doing it before then. Obviously, it's not all down to me. I've shown her that skill, but it's the mum that's put all that time and effort into it. But you can imagine how that mother felt having her son sign mum for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
I've got teaching others to communicate. So it's not always just about the user that has the additional needs. It's about the others that are around that user, not necessarily family, but it could be friends in a school environment. It's important that we're getting that inclusivity and getting them to be able to communicate with each other, with their peers, as well as us as interactors. And I've also got EAL learners. So as we have users coming over to our country who may speak a different language, Makaton can really help bridge that gap between the two languages so that we are, again, an inclusive environment, providing that communication for them users as well.
And that really does break down barriers, doesn't it? As I
It
say, having
really
that
does.
universal thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Those stories truly highlight the life-changing potential of Makaton. Helen, how can individuals, especially caregivers, educators and families, incorporate Makaton into their daily interactions to enhance the communication for those with diverse needs?
Give it a go. Give it a
Yeah.
go. That's where it needs to start. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. You don't have to be signing reams and reams and reams of signs. One sign can carry the whole essence of a meaning of a sentence. So we can use signs, symbols, and speech, as I've mentioned. Use it as frequent as you wish. So if your user in particular likes football, just sign football. Just use the symbol for football. We don't have to sign everything. You can label up your environment if you wanted to use the symbols as well. There's free resources on the Makaton Hub, which can help get you started. Obviously, there's training that you can attend, but ultimately it's about having fun. So whether it's by songs, stories, games, anything at all, just have fun with it and don't have too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the signs there. I know One Filed are having their Makaton Garden Party next week. I know some of the preparations going into that. They've got some signs around, showing for the food and the toilet. So it will be really, really interesting to see how that works in practice. Really looking forward to that. So thank you for providing valuable insights into the practical application of Makaton in daily life. So how can people participate in the Makaton International Awareness Day and also access some of the resources that you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, everything is on the Makaton Hub at makaton.org. You can have a look on there. There's lots of free resources, not just for the Makaton Awareness Day. There's also ongoing resources that get put up there frequently. So you can have a look at that. There's merchandise if you wish to purchase that. There's t-shirts, wristbands for etc. There's flags to colour. You can have your own fundraiser, do whatever you wish, like you say, One Filed are having the garden party, you can bake cakes, anything at all. But there's lots of different ideas on the hub as well.
So it's about raising awareness, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
and
just spreading the word.
Absolutely. Helen, thank you for sharing these valuable insights into the importance of Makaton and its impact on individuals with communication needs. Your expertise and the information about the Makaton International Awareness Day truly highlight the ongoing efforts to make communication more accessible and inclusive for all. So thank you for joining us today and providing such meaningful insights into Makaton and its role in enhancing communication for individuals with diverse needs. Your dedication to this field is truly commendable.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Yeah, just to end from myself, it is just about having this inclusive world for all, where everybody has a voice. We all have a right to be heard. And it's just about breaking down them barriers. How can we make it as simple as possible for our users to talk to us? That's all I want for our world anyway. But thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. And you can find links to the resources that Helen mentioned earlier at the end of this video.